Hey guys, what's up? It's me,
Anna, and I'm filming vlog, a vlog about drawing because that's all I ever know. Just kidding, but that's like the only thing I'm I'm kind of good at. And particularly I'll be vlogging my painting process. To show you how I do all my digital illustrations. Uh, so today I've decided to draw my dog, whose picture I will show on screen right now. Um, he's he's just the cutest, just the most stubborn, but like so cool. But I wanted to draw him because why not? And he's simple enough to be drawn, so that's why. I already drew him, and I recorded myself drawing him. And so what I'll be doing is I'm basically making a reaction video to me recording myself drawing my dog. Disclaimer. Well, not really a disclaimer, but my process for this particular piece might not be the same for the next pieces I make, but the overall, not really the detailed process, is the same. I'll just explain it to you later. So let's start. Oh my god. Okay. So the first thing I do in every piece is I search for a reference, and I think of an idea, and I look for the perfect pose for it. So look at me. I get my reference, and I got the wrong reference. I don't know why. Start breaking it down because that's like the best way to learn. Oh god, my camera fell. And I'll set it aside and I'll start sketching. Like, because tracing the reference, I don't like doing it. Nobody should be doing that. Excuse me. Break it down, that not trace. Study it and sketch it beside it. So that takes a while, so let's speed it up. Alright, so after sketching, I'd start doing the line art. You can always not do it, but that's how I do. I do the line art. When I'm trying to make a distinction with the object, I make sure the line is thick. When it's hair or anything, the line is thin. That's what I do. And then things like the corner of the mouth is black. The eyes are inked separately. I make sure the eyes is a bit separate because that involves a lot of conflicting layers, and I don't want that. When I do fur, I don't do him straight. Where was I? Yes, the fur. When I do fur, I make sure that it's not straight. Like, I don't draw my lines like that. I'd make sure I do one stroke and then do the next, because that makes the tip pointy. That's just a tip, guys. In line art, I try to do confident lines. That's why I do some constant erasing of lines. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I think confident lines is what you should be doing when making line art. Alright, next is the coloring. When I color, for God's sake, color, if some of the characters' colors are white, I make sure I paint them gray first, or I paint the background gray first. I sometimes go straight ahead with the base color, but for this one in particular, I painted them in gray first, and then I made the background dark gray, because a Boston Terrier is black and white, and to distinguish the white to make sure it's not a transparent background, I make sure to make him gray, but I just realized now I didn't have to do that because this is Medibang and it will show anyway if the background is transparent, so I have no idea why I did that in the first place. So yes, I draw it. I put in the base color, and see I started to make the character gray first, and then I start coloring them in. After I colored the base color, I didn't want to make his eyes white because he's already black and white, and I usually try to add some variety in my paintings. So his eyes has a hint of brown, and his hat too. I didn't want a red and black hat, so I made his hat purple, not orange, and his bow tie is red. Shouldn't mention what I'm doing to the fur. What I'm doing is I'm trying to make an illusion that it's fur. He's an animal. By just making lines that taper out, spread out from the dominant color. The dominant color here is white, so I get the pen to be white, and then I just make the strokes because there's more white than black. Don't really incorporate this in some animal paintings. I used to back in 2017, but my style then was different. Like there was like a consistent style. I don't have that anymore. I don't know why. Filming. I stopped filming, and the next part, because this was filmed November 2, so the next part will be on November 4. It took me 2 days before I came back to. That's normal. I take breaks in between. Let's continue. I shade on any program, but I decided to change to Krita. I'm using Medibang here. I decided to change to Krita because Krita has the brush I like. It has this really nice brush that blends easily. That's what I like. The shading and the details, they took me about 40 minutes. Sketching, line art, color, they take about an hour. Brush, my favorite brush, whose name I forgot. It looks like a paintbrush, acts like a paintbrush. I love it. I select color. I don't like to shade with black. I think for choosing a color, it takes a while. It takes a while to choose a nice color. I decided on a desaturated blue, light blue, desaturated aqua, and I set the layer to multiply, and then take the brush and start. After that, I just learned this month, but I try to add bounce, reflected light. So I do this in this, keep a lot of layers because I tend to make mistakes, and I want to correct it easily. So that's why I have lots of layers, if you're wondering. I add the shadow. I add the shadows when an object is touching another object. I added those very dark shadows. They're not quite prominent, but I added them. You can see it if you zoom in, I think. Here. Now, one part of my style is I like to color the line art so it doesn't look boring. It's hard to pick a color, especially if, like I said, your subject is black and white already. So I opted for a dark blue, very dark blue. I must have colored the bow and the eyes differently. But yes, my line art is usually always colored. There we go. I add the final touches. I add the sparkling things. What I don't like about Krita is that pressure is just too much. It's too much to handle. So I save it again into PSD and go to Medibank where the mayors are messed up again, and I had to adjust again. Here I start adding the stars, became the star. 3 stars is fine, 3 sparkling stars, and place them everywhere. And make sure my background's white, because if I save that as a PNG, it will be transparent. And I wanted a white background, even though it's kind of boring. But that's what I had in mind for this particular piece. And then the very last thing I do is to sign it with my signature and the date at the bottom of it. I stopped recording. So yes, that's my process. There might be more details added after I actually recorded, but you know, that's how it usually goes. I get a reference and then I sketch it beside the after studying the reference, I sketch it, and then I do the line art in colors, also in Medibank, because the lines again. And then I shade. After the shade, it's the highlight, and then a bunch more details later on about. That's it initially. Reference, sketching, line art, color, shading, and then details. Then I sign my signature on it. So I hope you guys like this video. The entire piece took about 1 hour and 40 minutes. That's without the 2-day break in between. If you guys want more process art videos, then you can subscribe. Feel free to subscribe, I guess. I'll plug my Instagram right now. If you want to see more of my work, feel free to follow me. Don't reveal who I am though. And that's it. I'll see you guys in the next video.